and leave his studies in order to go and join this Mahdi. This man of Juhayman, he proclaimed himself to the Mahdi. He saw in his dream that he was the Mahdi, and that a woman as well from another tribe of the Qahdani tribe saw that she was going to marry the Mahdi, and she ended up marrying this man. And so their dreams coincided. And a lot of people at that time, Shaitan showed them the dream that they would be from the army of the Mahdi. And so they joined this Mahdi, and this Mahdi Juhayman, they took over the Kaaba. As you know, one of the predictions of Rasulullah will be that the Mahdi will be given bay'ah to, the oath of allegiance to, between the Maqam Ibrahim and the Rukn Yamani. In that place he will stand, and he will be given bay'ah to. And so what he did, he came with his followers and all the armor and etc., and he took over the Kaaba. And he took over the Kaaba for approximately couple of weeks, until the fatwa from the Kibar Ulama was issued at that time to destroy to destroy these people and to kill them all without with whatever force was necessary. And this was from the Kibar Ulama at that time. Who were the Kibar Ulama at that time? Sheikh bin Baz, Rahimullah, Sheikh Abdul Aziz Afifi, and Abdul Razak Afifi, and other scholars at that time. And this fatwa is present, and this was in the year 1979. 1979, I was only 2 years old at that time, so I don't know much, but mashallah, some of our brothers might have remembered that incident when the Mahdi had taken over, this supposed Mahdi had taken over Makkah, and he was killing people. Of course, after that time, we find people checking our bags nowadays, don't we? Whenever we want to go to Makkah, what do they do? Into the Haram, they want to check our bags. And this sort of procedure and this sort of guarding the Haram of Makkah was not there at that time, before that time, because people were all trustworthy. But then after this happened, and people started to, and a lot of the Hujjaj were killed at that time, these strict measures were brought in. These were the people who claimed to be Mahdi. These were the people who claimed to be Mahdi. There were many more. However, these were the prominent ones. As for those people who other people thought they were the Mahdi, however, they themselves never claimed to be the Mahdi, then those people who other people thought to be the Mahdi, then there are two. There's many, but two that I will mention today. The first one is Isa ibn Maryam, radiyallahu anhu, alayhi salam. And Isa ibn Maryam was one of the Mahdis. As we know, the hadith of Rasulullah in Musnad Imam Ahmad mentions what? يُوشِكُ مَنْ عَاشَ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَنْ يَلْقَى عِيسَى ibn Maryam إِمَامًا مَهْدِيًّا حَكَمًا. The hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmad states that Rasulullah said that it is just about those people who live after me are just about to meet the Mahdi. Imam, he will be an Imam, he will be Mahdiyan, he will be a person who guides to the truth, and he will be the Hakam, he will be the ruler and leader at that time. And so this point, some people therefore understood from this to mean that Isa the Maryam was the actual Mahdi. In fact, there is a hadith in Bayhaqi that states that La imama, la mahdiya illa Isa ibn Maryam, that there is no Mahdi except Isa ibn Maryam. However, this hadith is not authentic. Okay, the second person who the people thought that he was a Mahdi was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, people thought that he was a Mahdi. Of course, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz himself never declared himself to be the Mahdi. And as we know, the predictions of Rasulullah did not come true about him, meaning that Rasulullah never described that whatever happened in the time of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz to be the signs of the Mahdi. So therefore Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was not the Mahdi that Rasulullah was talking about. Has the Mahdi been born yet? There are two claims amongst the sects of Islam. The first claim is for the Shia. The Shia claim the Mahdi has been born already, and that he is alive and he is hiding in a cave, and he comes out sometimes, just to have a party. He just comes out to have a stroll through the woods and something, and he meets some Shia imams and some Khomeinis and etc. And then when he's had enough and he can't take it anymore, he goes back and has his hibernation. This is the Mahdi of the Shia, and the Shia believe that he is alive now. In fact, we know from the authentic hadith that the Mahdi is not alive now. In fact, who is alive now? It's the Dajjal that is alive now, isn't it? In fact, we know from the authentic hadith in Bukhari that the Dajjal is alive now. And as I said, the narrations about the Mahdi in the books of the Shia are very similar to the descriptions of the Ahl Sunnah about the Dajjal. And so truly the Mahdi of the Shia will be the Dajjal, as we will mention very soon. The Mahdi will fight the Shia as well, as we'll mention inshallah from the authentic hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's talk about the events that will lead on to the coming of the Mahdi. And it's quite important for us to understand how the situation will be before the Mahdi will come about, so that we can understand who the true Mahdi will be. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in authentic hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmed and in Abi Dawood and others that the people towards the end of time, the Muslims will have a hudna or a treaty, a peace treaty with the kuffar. After that peace treaty will be the Malhamat al-Kubra, will be the great war, which is the Armageddon that the Christians talk about. After that Armageddon will be couple of months in which the Christians will prepare to attack the Muslims, at which time the Mahdi will come about. At which time the Mahdi will come. As for the peace treaty, and all the Muslim countries nowadays have peace treaty with the disbelievers, with Rome, with the Christians, yes or no? Yes. So therefore we know that this is what Rasulullah was talking about, that all the Muslim countries now, every Muslim country that you can think of has a peace treaty with the Christians, isn't it? And so this is the first sign. The first sign has already come, therefore, of the coming of the Mahdi. The second sign is this Malhamat al-Kubra, this Armageddon that will take place. Armageddon in Arabic is Al-Magiddan. Okay? Armageddon. Armageddon means, Alma means mountain and Geddon means sea. Meaning that the battle of the Armageddon will take place in a place that joins between the mountains and the sea. In fact, in another authentic narration in Musnad Imam Ahmed, Rasulullah ﷺ told us that this battle will take place in the lands of Palestine. Meaning that this Armageddon will actually take place in the lands of Palestine. And in fact, this issue of the Armageddon taking place in the lands of Palestine is also attested by the leaders of the Christians nowadays. In fact, Jimmy Swaggart and others, as you know, Jimmy Swaggart is one of those who Didat, rahimahullah, as you know, Sheikh Didat, Ahmed Didat, he debated him in one of his tapes, as you know, and he writes in one of his books that I used to think that the Armageddon will be in another time. However, I am convinced that the Armageddon will be in our time and it will be in the lands of Palestine. Okay, so we find that even the Christian scholars are of the opinion that the Armageddon will take place in the lands of Palestine. What is this Armageddon? The Armageddon is a battle which the scriptures from the past, in all the books of the Qur'an and Sunnah, in all the books of the Muslimin, as well as that of the Ahl Kitab, of the Jews and the Christians, have talked about. And it is the great war, the war of wars, that will take place between the Muslims and the non-Muslims, will be on one side against a common enemy. Yes, so it's not the Christians and against the Muslims. No, not this yet. Not as yet. The Armageddon is when the Muslims will side and take forces, join forces with the Christians against a common enemy. Who is that common enemy? If it's Palestine, it may be the Jews. You never know. But who is the common enemy? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best who this common enemy will be. However, it will be a common enemy that is common to the Muslims as well as the Christians. And this is the great battle of the Armageddon that will take place. In this battle, the Jews, the Christians will have 960,000 men amassed for this battle. 960,000 men. In fact, Rasulullah mentioned there will be 80 standards. 80 standards. As you know, a standard is a flag of war. So the Christians will have 80 standards, and under each standard will be 12,000. So that's 80 times 12,000, and that's 960,000. So 960,000 is the number of people that will be in the army of the Christians that will side with the Muslims to fight against this common enemy that they will fight against. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give victory to the Muslims. As Rasulullah mentioned in the authentic hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmed, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give victory to who? To the Muslims. So the Muslim section of this army will be the ones who will win. After this has taken place, there will be a great disturbances amongst the Muslims in the land of Hijaz. Meaning that the land of Hijaz, which is Saudi Arabia and Arabia at that time, there will be kings ruling over it. However, at that time, 3 sons of kings. 3 sons of kings. In authentic hadith, this is in Abi Nu'aym reported this in authentic hadith, and Abdul Razzaq in Musannaf reported that there will be 3 sons of kings fighting over the throne at that time. So 3 sons of kings will fight at that time, at which time the Christians will prepare their forces in order to attack the Muslims, and this is the time in which the Mahdi will come and join and come to Makkah, and which the people will come and give bay'ah to. So this is the situation before the coming of the Mahdi. This is the situation before the coming of the Mahdi.